Hello everyone, crafty friends. Friends who aren't crafty but like to watch me craft. That's good too. I am going to participate in a challenge. I found a group on Facebook that is called Kendra's Card Challenge, and this is card challenge number 17. And so what you do is she has 15 sketches like these. These are 6 of the 15. And so it shows you how you have to put your cards together. And you choose 6 6x6 pattern papers, preferably two-sided so that you have more options. And then you put everything together using these layouts. And then you can go back and you can design, embellish, emboss, whatever you want to do to make the cards personal. So I had found some paper this morning that I really liked in my stash, and it is, it's got cars, it's got flames, wheels, all kinds of fun things. So I had wanted to work with that, and then I found this challenge group, so I thought I'll do the challenge with this. And since I'm a longtime paper crafter and I like a challenge, I thought it would go great. So instead of just doing a video and uploading my cards at the end, I thought I would walk you through the steps of how to do this. So if you're a new paper crafter and this chart looks a little intimidating, or you don't know how to choose your papers, put your designs together, cut your papers, you can gather your supplies and walk through this with me. And if you have any questions, please just leave me a comment, or if you're here in the live, I will chat with you because I love to chat with the people who are watching live. But yeah, if you leave a comment, I will answer you and try to help you in whatever you need. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other camera, and then we are going to get started, and I'm going to be able to let you see everything that's going on over there. Okay, so that is my desktop. I'm just going to switch my microphone, so it'll be just a second. Okay. Forgot I had to turn off the volume on the other one, or we'll have a horrible echo. Nobody wants a horrible echo. All right, let's see if this is working right now. Sorry, thought I had everything set up, but they fell asleep while I was doing other things. So just a minute. I just want to make sure there's not an echo. So if anybody is out there and you can hear me, please tell me. Okay, there's one. It says there's somebody watching. So if you're watching and you can hear and tell me if there's an echo or not, I would sure appreciate it. And why there is a shadow, I don't know, because this room is as bright as daylight right now. James Steele. Do I have an echo, James Steele? Please tell me. Tell me if there's an echo, kind sir. I must be late for you. No echo. Thank you. Okay. I really don't know why there's a shadow. I mean, seriously, if you could see how bright my room is, I need sunglasses. It's so bright in here. I guess it doesn't look... How shadowy does it look, James? Does it look dark? I have all of these brand new lights, and it is so bright in here. It's crazy bright in here. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to go with it because there's really nothing I can do about it. Oh, it looks perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the card sketches. So the first thing that I want to do is we have all of these, cutting guides. So we have 6 cutting guides for the 6 sheets of paper. So like this one we're going to cut, and these are for card number 1, card number 4, 8, 6. So I need some little baggies to put the pieces in, because otherwise once I cut all of these, I will lose all the little pieces. Because I have done things like this before and lost all of the little pieces. So first things first, I need some baggies. I've got a bunch of clear envelopes. I think that's going to be the best thing for me to do, is to cut all this stuff and put it in clear envelopes. So somewhere I had, I made little labels for these envelopes. I swear you would watch this and think I don't get ready at all, but I do. I get ready and then I promptly lose things. It's okay. I'm sure it just adds to everyone else's amusement. I'll get my label maker. Okay, so instead we are going to use the label maker. All right, so card, 1, print. This is going to take a while. I really wish I knew what I did with that sheet of labels. Card, 2. So let's see, what time is it here? It's like 2. So, oh, I guess it's not that late for you, is it, James? I was thinking it was later, but what is it, like 10? Maybe 10:30 at night or something? I love all my friends from around the world. Super fun. 3. Tonight, I am going to a pickleball tournament. They have different pickleball rating systems. I do have the best gadgets. You're right, James. 2 pickleball rating systems, and one of them is called Duper, D-U-P-R. And so it's a much more accurate rating system than the other one, which I can't remember what it's called. So I'm going to a tournament tonight where you play with other people who play at a similar level, and then they rank you and you get your Duper score. So it's going to be interesting to see what my Duper score is. I've been playing pickleball for about 3 years now, I think. And I love it. I play all the time. So much fun. But having a ranking will enable me to do tournaments with people I don't know. So when they say, you know, seeking a partner, I'll actually know what level I play at instead of just kind of guessing at what level I play at. But of course, depends on who you're playing with, what your level is. Hello to everyone who has just entered. What's pickleball? Ah, it's the best. Pickleball is kind of, if you think about table tennis in real life, like you're on the table. So it's kind of a mixture of table tennis, kind of a little bit of badminton. You use a ball that looks like a wiffle ball. So it's a hard plastic ball with holes in it. And your paddle is more like a ping pong paddle, but larger. And yeah, so much fun. And the court is only, you can put 3 pickleball courts on 1 tennis court. So that gives you an idea. It's much smaller. So a whole lot less running around. And the ball does not bounce like a tennis ball at all. So I'm extremely competitive. And yeah, so my son and I started playing, and he's pretty good, but you know, when we started he was 15, so of course he's 15, he's going to be good at that. And I was not good. I was not good at all. It took us forever to find people who would even play with us because I was so not good at pickleball. But finally they started letting me play, and I have gotten much better. And I play hard. I love it. I play so hard. So the thing I'm going to tonight is about an hour away. So my husband's going to go with me, and he does not play pickleball, but he likes to go junking. Hello, the crafty visage. Nice to see you. You are, I was trying to think. I think I saw you here one day. And I was like, wait, you're Abraham's friend Dawn, but you're not, because Abraham's friend Dawn has Dawn in her screen name. So welcome. I'm prepping for a card challenge. And in the card challenge, you're going to make, I'm going to make, oh yeah, okay, Abraham did send you. Okay, good. I'm going to make 15 cards, and the directions, they gave you sketches like this, but then she also gave cutting guides. And so for the cutting guides, you have to cut all of these, and these are the cards that they go on by their numbers. So I have to make little baggies, otherwise I'm going to lose all of these little pieces. And I was telling James, okay, you are Dawn. Okay, good. I was like, I think that's, yeah, it is Kendra's card challenge. Have you done it before? I'd never seen it, and I was just looking for something fun today. Oh, yay. Do you have a channel, Dawn? Because I'm going to have to look up your channel. Or if you want to send me an email and tell me what it is. My name is Mama Opal SP at gmail.com, and then I could see what you're doing. Yeah, so this is my first time to do her challenge, but it looked really fun. And I was saying that this morning I was digging through my paper because I have just done a massive overhaul cleanup of the craft room, and I found some really cute papers that are masculine, and they have flames and wheels. And then I thought, ooh, I have this stamp set, Born to Ride. And I thought this would be a really cute one to use with some kind of challenge and to use with those papers. So that's what got my interest started. And then I saw her group and I was like, wow, that sounds really fun. And you can win prizes. And like I just said, I'm super competitive, so I love to win. And I know this isn't the kind of challenge that you win by being the best. You win by participating, but I do like a challenge. So I've been in different challenge groups. I've been on a number of design teams through the years. But I don't like being tied to one product anymore. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 2 weeks shy of 15 years. And my husband said, why don't you stay? Why don't you get to 15 years? I'm like, why? I don't like them anymore. I don't want to be part of them anymore. And so when I left there, that's when I went to Fun Stamper's Journey, which I loved. And then when I left there, that's when I followed Richard for a while. And then he stopped crafting and creating because he went back to college. And so now I've just really gotten used to being able to use whatever I want, whenever I want. And I don't sell anything anymore, so I don't feel like I need to promote any certain products. Hey, Abraham, we're just getting started. I'm working on a crafty challenge, Kendra's card challenge. And Dawn said she's done this before. So I was digging out paper today because I found some papers that I liked, which is what started me down this rabbit trail this morning. I'm going to show you guys the papers I found that I like this morning. So I've got this one that has some nice tools on it. And the back's a little crazy, a little wild, but that's all right. And I chose some cardstocks that I like to go with it. Oh, here's the other pattern papers. All right, so I've got the flames. Got some rust kind of color here. Got this. I've got this one, which will be a little limiting. Okay, so I only had 3, and you're supposed to have 6, I think. Oh, wait, I have 4. There's the 4th one. Okay, so here's my other one. So that's just, kind of a generic blue one. But I have this, which I don't know if you guys like to go to not Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree last week, and they have this, the vinyl, not vinyl, what's this called? Pleather. They have the pleather on sale. But they had all of their crafting vinyls on sale, 2 for $1, I think. It was ridiculously cheap, whatever it was. So, but I thought this would be really cool with some of these masculine cards. And then I also have, I think I'm probably going to use this one, which has some horizontal stripes. I don't know if you can see that. This. Oh, cool. You showed Abraham's channel swag. I've got some. I had my bracelet on earlier. Where did it go? I don't know. I must have taken it off. But I was wearing it earlier. I love my Sins of Scientology bracelet Abraham sent for me. Okay, so we must cut down. We must cut down the cardstock. And she provides a really nice chart. Oh, did I just whack my camera? I'm sorry if I did. That was probably loud. Found my stickers. Forget it. Okay, so that's so funny. I said I appear to not prepare for these things, but I really do sometimes. And this one I prepared for. Okay, so I like this because this shows you which papers you're going to use on which cards. So you can kind of plan ahead. So I'm like, this one is pretty wild. I like this one though. I don't want to use a ton of this paper though. So the one that has the least X's is C. So I think I'm going to cut this one up first for card front C. So C is the yellow one here. Let's set that off to the side. And I'm going to get my small paper trimmer since everything I'm doing today should fit on it. All right, now I just have to cut this little strip off the edge. That's just, what keeps it in the paper pack when you buy it. All right, so this one looks pretty simple. I'm going to do 2 1/4 inch strip, and then that will leave all of these as 3-inch strips. Because she says, oh, 3 3/4. Okay, so this is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. All right, so we're gonna do 3 3/4. All right, so this one is the 2 1/4 inch strip, and then it just needs a 3/4 inch off this end. All right, so that means I bring it into here. Okay, so I've got my first 2 pieces, and then I'm going to cut these, which are 2 inches. So that means I'm going to come out to 4. So we got a 2 inch, and then I have a 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and then I have a 1 3/4, which will leave a 1/2 inch. Okay, now the important thing is for me to put these in their envelopes before I lose them. I'd love to know how you do it, Dawn, if you cut all the stuff up ahead of time or... Yeah. Hey, Sinners and Secrets. I'm not sure which center that is. That's the Abraham Center or the Sandy Center. Either way, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Look, I've already got myself all messed up. Okay, this is 1 3/4. So this is going to go in number 6. I think this part's what's going to take me forever, y'all, is just trying to figure out how to get these card kits done. I used to do this when I was with Close to My Heart, and I would buy their big card kits. Oh my goodness, those things were huge. And then you'd have to cut everything and put it together. But in the end, it makes it faster. All right, so this is a 2-incher. Okay. That one's that. And then yeah, I didn't anticipate how long this is going to take. Holy cow. And oh yeah, that's a good question. When does Sinners and Secrets start? Hey, Sandy. I know. So many numbers. I might, I guess this is how you win this contest. If you have enough stick-to-itness to complete the cutting project, you can win a prize. It's okay. It'll be cool when I'm done. Yeah, so when does the new season start? Oh, okay. The first episode will be a part 3. Okay, so I have a question about that. Yesterday in Natalie's chat, I said I wondered if the Ruby Frankie story, is that considered true crime? I would like to know. And lots of people in the chat. And Natalie, we're super excited about the thought of that being a true crime story. Yeah, because if that is super exciting. All right, so I have done this one. And that's good. We got one of them done. Oh, it sure is. Yay. Okay, and Sinners and Secrets are going to Orlando next week for the podcast conference. Oh, you're going to record some things while you're there? That's so exciting. I love to hear that. Okay, so now we're going to do another one. Let's do D. And I really like this one, which is going to be the Flames, or just this kind of burnt color. So I need to cut it to 6 by 6 first. And I will save the extra pieces for insides and things of the cards later. Okay, but we're going to start with the 6 by 6. Looks like the one that goes all the way across is at 4 1/4. So we're going to go 4 1/4. And then we just want, I'm sorry, you probably can't see this. And then I just want a 1/2 inch because I got this one. Okay. So this needs to go into number 10. And this one needs to go into number 2. All right, so we've got a 10. I also took time this morning to emboss a bunch of different pieces of black that I thought would go really well with this card project. So I've got all of these ready too. The little scissors in the sketch shows the first cut. Oh, thank you. That is helpful to know. See, it's good you're here. You can help me with these things. I'm just kind of looking at it going, I can figure this out. All right, so this one is 2 1/4. And then these are going to be, we have one that's 3/4. It's going to be there. If you do that, make sure you hold your little clear plastic piece tightly. And then we have two that are 1/2 of an inch each. So that's going to be right there at the metal edge of this trimmer. All right. There we go. All right, so we have to look at our chart again. Okay, so this is the red one. So we've got 11, 7, and 2 2s. All right, so we just had some 2s, so let's get our 2s in here. We need an 11 and a 7. Well, I'm glad, James, because I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I hope everybody's not like, oh wow, this is boring. Thanks, Mama Opal, we're loving this. Well, and maybe you have had a long, rough day, and just watching someone else paper craft is fun. I had a great day. I read 2-2. What is that? Like 2-2, like a ballerina dancer? See, look, I like this because now when I don't know what James is talking about, I can just ask him. In Natalie's chat, it goes so fast, and I can ask, but it doesn't always get seen. It's a fast, fun chat over there, Natalie's channel. All right, let's do this one. That is a lot of pieces. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do something that won't be quite as crazy. I think I'm going to do this one because I have a feeling if we do anything with a large pattern, it's really going to get lost on these really skinny pieces. It's okay. You don't have to have the stress sweats. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yes, we are big fans of James Steele. I would be very sad if James Steele didn't show up in Natalie's chats in the morning. And I hope you're all going to miss me because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there again until Monday. I'm leaving tomorrow morning for a trip down south. Not too far south, but enough that it's going to be warmer than it is here. So that will be nice. All right, let's have a look at this purple one. I'm a bit perplexed. Let's see. All right, so we have a 1/2 and a 1/2 and a 1/2. So that's 1.5 inches from the edge. And Dawn just told us that the scissor, it tells us which way to go. So we're going to do 1.5 inches. So 6, 5, 4.5. All right, so let's do these first. So we have this bottom strip. I guess I could scoot that over just a little bit. And so the first one is, these are 3.5. 2, 3.5. How long has she been doing these challenges, Dawn? Like I said, I never knew about her or these challenges. I was just Googling today, like card sketch challenges. And I was like, wow, that looks fun. Okay. All right, so we have, oh, and all of these tiny pieces are going in the 12 bag. So that's good. I can get the 12 bag and we can get it ready. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera again. Oh. Trying to figure out where everything is. And I was telling James before you got here, Abraham, that I'm like, this room is lit up like a surgery center. I do not know how I still have shadows and how it is still appearing kind of dark. Oh, I guess it's not as dark. I just looked over at the computer. When I'm looking on my device, it looks pretty dark. Numbers dyslexia. I think that's probably a real thing. My friend was in a car accident and she got a brain injury and she can't do numbers now. She also has no filter. I don't know if that's true or if she just says that because she doesn't want to have a filter anymore. But she's funnier now. I don't know. I guess I said she's funnier now, but I guess I really don't know. I didn't know her before she had her brain injury. But it's one of those things where it had been so long. She had it so long when I first met her that she just always thought I knew what she was talking about. So I didn't really ask a lot of questions about the brain injury. But I know it did affect the part of her brain that says, probably shouldn't say that to people. So, but that's okay because I knew ahead of time. So I wasn't too easily offended. Actually, I'm not very easily offended by most things. Because I figure most of the time when people are not kind, it's about them. It's really not about you. Most people could care less what you're doing. Just way more concerned about themselves. Like that thing Sandy sent me the other day. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different story, James. Your dad has no filter dementia. That's different. Okay, so I need 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, but Sandy sent out this thing, 8 things I wish I'd read before in my life or something. But I think one of those was, you know, nobody's really thinking about you, so don't worry about it. It's not about you. It's about them. I know it said it much more eloquently than that, but that was the gist of it. Okay, so this was the top measurement. These are the little 1/4 inch pieces that were going up there. So this is also card number 1. Okay, now we're ready for this big chunk. So this one is, okay, so I need a 3.5 inch piece across here. So let's do that, 3.5. And then these are going to be 1 inch wide, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4. And then 1 1/4. So we'll do this, let's do the small ones first. So this is 3.5. So I need a 1/4. So let's go to 3 1/4. Okay, so that little sliver is going to go in number 3. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Well, hopefully this will help someone. If someone is in that challenge group and they're brand new and they want to walk through this with someone else, hopefully it'll help them. All right, I'm looking for number 3. Okay, here's number 3, and it's gonna get this 1/4 of an inch strip. This happens, I know. Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and my aunt just died. She had, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can say that. I know she had early onset Alzheimer's a number of years ago and wouldn't do anything about it. So I will say that much. But it is not a pleasant thing to watch someone go through. I will say that for sure. All right, this one is number 15. So it's going to get this larger piece. And then the only thing we have left are 3 that are going to go in number 14. And we have 1 that is 1 inch, and then we have 2 that are 1/2 of an inch each. So I'm going to find my number 14 bag. Here it is. All right, so let's just get this one cut. So what is this? This is, we have 2 inches left here. Okay, 2. So then we have 1 1/2. And 1, and this one is a little bit shorter. So all of these are 4 1/4, but that one is 4 inches. So we just need to turn it sideways and take 1/4 of an inch off of that. And I don't care what kind of paper crafting you do, you should have a good trimmer. A good trimmer is a good investment. Oh, thanks, Sandy. As long as there's a calculator it says. But a good trimmer is worth every penny that you spend for a good trimmer. I've had those Fiskars and the blades wear out, or if you use a cardstock that is too good of a cardstock, like Stampin' Up! Really nice quality white. It has a lot of fibers, and then after a couple times with your cutter, then it just starts shredding it. So spend money on a good cutter. I mean, you can buy pop dots, you can buy adhesive, you can buy all of that stuff from Temu. Cheap, 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 doesn't matter. But a trimmer, get a good trimmer. Don't get it from Temu. I tried that. I don't, you know why I need to. I already have a ton of trimmers, but I did buy one from there, but it didn't have a guardrail. And I'm like, I could slice my finger off. Seriously, I am klutzy and I could slice my finger off. So I do not use that one. Okay, now let's look at this one because this is a little tough. We've got this piece right here. And so it's already 4 1/4 inches, but we need to go over 1 1/2 inches. And then we need to make this angle cut. So let's measure first. Okay, here's 1. Okay, so we're going to go right here to 1 1/2. Okay, so then we will take our trimmer and we will put that little mark right there. Hold it tight and then move it around until we get that little point right there, okay? And then we have that little piece. And then the other one, we want Okay, so this is number 10. So we're going to do another one of those on the other side. So this is what we have now. So we're going to go over 1.5 inches here. Okay, we got 1.5, and that's going to be here. Oh, thank you. Said you tagged Kendra, so I'm going, okay, that will be great. Because like I said, I'm really excited for this. I love a good challenge. And this year, one of my goals is to really use up supplies that I already own. It's like I have so much stuff. It's like I really need to get using up a lot of the stuff that I have. So then next year can be the year of buying new stuff. Oh, only half kidding there. Okay, so number 13 was this piece. So that's going to go in this bag. And then number 10, it's getting the 2 triangle pieces. Okay, so let's see what we've done now. Okay, so we have completed E. All right, so we did CD, so I'm going to put that off to the side, and we've done E. So now let's look at F. And F is going to have a bigger piece. I don't know. Oh, I know what we can do. We can look at the card sketches and see what F is going to be. So F is orange. I love how organized this is. Let's see. Oh, Abraham, I used to be a mortgage banker. So I guess I was kind of in banking too. Whew, glad I don't do that anymore. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be card 13. Okay, so it's mostly just going to be a border. So we're not really going to see it. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to use... I was thinking about trying to use the wheel, but it's not going to be seen enough to matter. So let's go with this side of the paper for F. Okay, first things, we got to cut it down to a 6x6. Okay. And save that extra paper. Use it for your insides. Use it to decorate your cards. Use it to make tags. I make a lot of gift tags. All right. Scissor line here. So let's see. The width of this is 3 3/4. 3 3/4 for our first piece. Okay. Put the other piece right there so I don't lose it again. So we've got this one. So 3 3/4 by 5. So that means we're just taking an inch off the bottom. And these 2 pieces are going to be a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those so I don't have to try to hold a little 1/2 inch piece in here. So 5 1/2, 5. So this one is a number 13. We don't have any other 13s in this card. So let's just get that in its bag. All right. And then one of these 1/2 inch pieces, it's a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4, and this is just like it is. It goes into number 6. Yeah, I probably should have kept these baggies in order, but I didn't. Okay, 6. And then number 1, we're going to have 2 that are 3/4 inch each, and then 11. So let's do the 3/4. So this is 3 3/4. So we'll take it to 3. And then we'll take it to 2 1/4. And that should give us this piece, which is 2 1/4 inches long left. So the tiny pieces are number 1. All right, we're going to put those here in this one. Good night, James. Thanks for stopping in. See you later. I was going to say see you tomorrow, but I won't see you tomorrow because I will be driving while Natalie's live tomorrow. But I'm going to Tennessee, and it's supposed to be 50-some on Friday morning, which I'm super excited about because this morning here it was -2 or -3 or something horrible. All right, so we got the first half done. Now we're going to go over here. So this part is 2 1/4. We already have this piece. So let's go ahead and cut off the 1 1/2 inch because it's going to go in number 11, which is the one we just had. So we're going to go 1 1/2. All right, so number 11. And I did tag Kendra in the description of this. I put the KCC number 17, and I put Kendra's card challenge. So hopefully I did that right so that people could find it. All right, so then we need number 15 and we need number 14. Okay, we have our 15 and 14. So 15, oh, so we have a little black out here. So I'm assuming that since all this has black lines, we're not going to use that. Okay, so it's going to be 4 1/4, and right now it's 4 1/2. So we're going to do this, and then this little tiny piece you don't need. You can just toss that little piece away. Let's see, what are they talking about? Abraham said he was a teller and moved on to become a manager. Ugh. Zoom out a little because we can't see what you pointed to. Okay, cool. Nope, that's it, Patty. I'll get it right here. Zoom out. Okay, I'm trying to raise it up here a little bit. Apparently I was zoomed out as far as Manicam would let me go. I'm going to use Manicam software. It's what I used to use as an online teacher. Oh, that's much better. Thank you for that tip. Because I could do all kinds of fun, add fun stickers and things on the screen when I taught the kids. And that was super fun. Okay, so we need an inch because this is going to be 3 1/2 inches. So then this little tiny piece, we need it to be okay, wait a minute. Did I make a mistake? It could have happened. Okay, no, this is 3 1/2. And 1/2 and 1/2 and 1/2. This is much wider than that. Well, somehow I've messed up. But it's too big, which is what's confusing me. Well, I know it's 3 1/2, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut these to 1/2. And I guess later I'll look at my paper and be like, oh, that's what I did. Okay, so this is 2. So we're going to go to 1 1/2. And we're going to go to 1. And we're going to go to 1 1/2. Yeah, apparently somewhere I have shorted something. Hey, it's my first time on this, right? That's right. It's all good. It's the first time. All right, so those are the 1 inch pieces. And these all go in 12. And then I need to cut this thing into 1/2 inch, 1 inch by 1/2 inch pieces. Okay. Now, 3 inches. Oh, it's 1/2 and 1/2 and 1/2. So that's 1 1/2. What have I done? I can. I really do have a good setup. Like I said, I used to be an online teacher, so I have crazy fast internet at my house. All right, so this is 1 1/2. And then I just need to cut these into, this is what's confused me, 1 inch over. So they're 1 inch wide, and then they're 1/2 inch. Okay, somebody help me. What have I messed up here? What are these measurements? These are 1 inch by 1/2 inch wide. 1 inch by 1/2 inch. And thankfully I have extra paper, so I can fix it. So I would need a 1 inch by 1 1/2 inch. Okay, let's try this. Pull out my extra. Okay, so 1 1/2. Okay, 1 1/2 by 1. And then, okay, and then they go by 1/2 inches. Okay. All right, I got it now. That probably really did give Sandy the sweats if she's still watching. The math sweats. Okay, so there are all those tiny little pieces. All right, so there's the 3 strips, the 3 tiny pieces. Let me just, okay, and all of these go in number 12. Number 12, number 12. Let's see, negative. Yeah, so this morning I was teaching one of my kids in China, and I had changed the temperature on my phone to Celsius to show him how cold it was. And then I was looking at it later and I'm like, oh my goodness, how did it get to be negative 14? It was because I was still in Celsius. I was like, wow, I would have thought I would have realized how cold that was. Does anybody know what I just did? I know what I just did. I was working on this one. And then I started looking at this one. Because remember, I cut off this little strip first. And I've done this one. So I did this one and these and that. So I need to do this part again. That's funny. This is my life though, and I'm okay with it. Okay, so the only part I messed up was this part. All right, so we need a 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then later I'll be like, where did those extra pieces come from? And so I know that sometimes this makes other people feel better. So if you came here to follow along and you've messed up, it's okay. I've been crafting 25 years or more and I still mess up crazy stuff. Okay, let's try this again. So we need 3/4. Oh, we need 2 that are 1/4. All right, 1/4, which is a 14. Another 1/4, which is a 14. We need a 1/2. Okay. We need a 1/2. And we need another 1/2. And then this one should be 3/4, but I don't think it is. That's a 1/2. Oh my word, can I do math? And the scary thing is I have a degree in math. I have a degree in math, finance and economics, but I'm just gonna cut another one. It's so funny. I always said I show everything. I don't take out the mistakes because I don't want newer crafters to think that people are like able to do all of this and never make a mistake. Okay, so the big one is 15, the other ones are 14s. And you know what I say? If you make a mistake and you can't fix it, just throw it away. It's just paper. And you probably have a lot more, honestly. All right, there we go. So we've got all the pieces. There, and then this is piece number 15. All right, took me a minute, but I got it. I got back together. Okay. F is done. Kendra teaches math. Yes, I'm a language person, so my big thing is teaching language, but occasionally I come around to this side. Okay, so I want some of the bigger pieces to be this. I don't remember what is this stuff called? Yeah, I can't remember. Okay, so this is going to be pattern A, because I like this one a lot with the wheels. So we're going to start with our 6x6. 6x6. Okay. And then our cut line is going to be here at 1/2 inch. So we'll go to 5 1/2. And then that needs to be 5 inches and 1 inch. Okay. 5 inch. So the little piece is going to be 8. Oh, and this one has a little notch right there. So it's going to look like a tag on the corner. I think I'll wait and I'll do that when I'm actually putting it together. Okay, so, but this long piece is going to be card number 2. Okay, and then we're going to go to the next one. And so this is going to be 3 1/2 inches wide. All right, so this is the one that I just cut 1 inch off of this. Yeah, because now it's 5 1/2. So we're going to go 3 1/2. 3 1/2. Okay, and then the first piece is 1 3/4. And that's also a number 8. So I wanted to do those two together so I could get them in their little baggie. All right, number 8. I know, I'm excited to see that new cardstock. I'm on this trip this weekend. I'm going to do some shopping. So I want to see that new Park Lane 110-pound cardstock because I love a good heavy cardstock. Thank you. Yeah, Dawn, I honestly don't know where this paper came from. It was just It was just in my stuff. Oh, I know. Our Joann's is closing. I'm so super sad. Well, maybe I'm not super sad. I'm a little sad. But they had really stopped catering to paper crafters. Like, ours had almost nothing paper crafting related anymore. That part was sad. Well, they had this huge store in my town, and when they first moved to the new store a number of years ago, I was a Joann's crafting instructor. And so I went there and I was like, hey, brand new store, you have all this room. I was like, you know, would you like to have classes, bring in customers? And nope. I was like, what? They're like, no, we don't want to do that. And I was like, okay. So yeah, they wouldn't have classes, and they just never, their paper crafting section just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And now we're only going to have a Hobby Lobby left. And their paper crafting section is honestly getting pretty small. All right, so we have 2 of these tiny pieces. All right, so the tiny pieces are number 6. You know, it probably would have been smart if I had like a box that I stood these up in, and then I could have flipped through them as needed. I'll do that next time I do one of these challenges. Okay. And then this piece is a number 5. Let's see, I'm trying to get to one before anything happens. Yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, our Michaels up here has a lot of silhouette stuff, honestly. And that's my preferred machine. I have a Cricut. I don't use it very often, but wow, I love my silhouette machine. I actually pulled out my Silhouette 3 yesterday because I couldn't get my 4 to work right. I've just always had more luck with my 3 than my 4. Okay, now this 2 inches by 4 inches. Do either of you have silhouette machines? Oh, well, that would be nice. Michael's getting revamped, better organized. The one thing I did like at Joann's was they had a really nice yarn section at ours. 5 Cricuts. I have had, I don't have the maker. That's the newest one, right? I don't have that, but I have had every other one all the way. Well, all right. I have to say again, no, I didn't. I did not have the Cricut cake because I'm not a cake maker. But all the other Cricuts, I had the Cricut, the jukebox, the Gypsy, all of the, all of the great Cricut accessories. So I have no reason to not use my Cricut. Just never seem to pull it out. Okay, so there's number 1. We are left with card B, and so as not to confuse my ADHD brain, I am going to fold my card in half. All right, so we need 1 more, and I'm going to use this time, but it's too wide to go in my trimmer. I'm going to need to cut it down a little bit. I like this stuff a lot. It really, because not only does it look nice, it adds texture and adds dimension, so super fun. All right, let's see if I can squeeze this in here to cut it down. I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit. All right, so we got I want to line this side up because I did not cut evenly. Okay, there we go. All right, now we can get a good 6x6 square going on here. You do have you still have them? I got rid of mine as I sold other ones. My Cricuts, I got rid of all of them. I have the Gypsy. Last year, I donated my Gypsy and my small machines to a women's shelter here because I thought all of those cartridges are linked. So I don't really need to keep all that stuff. And I thought maybe someone there might like to have those 3 3/4 inches. I was feeling like I wanted to do it. And then I was like, no, yes, no. I told my daughter, I'm like, okay, just take them. Get them out of here. Go put them in the car. So she quick put them in the car and took them for me before I could change my mind. Because I knew I wouldn't care once they were gone. But, you know, just the thought of like, oh my gosh, all that money. All that money that we've spent on all of those cartridges through the years. Okay, number 5 gets this big square. All right, and then number 7 gets the smaller rectangle. Yeah, you can still see what I'm doing, but All right, number 7 gets this one. Okay, so then we have this piece left, and we need to do these things. So we need to cut off a 1 inch. Is this 2 1/4? It should be. Yes, it is. We need to cut off a 1 inch from the bottom. And this is a number 11. And nothing else is a number 11, so let's just... I know. Next time I will have a better plan about keeping these things organized. So I need 2, 4, and 11. That's all I'm looking for. 2, 4, there's 4, there's 11, and there's 2. Okay, and we're almost done with cutting. How exciting. Okay, so number 11, you get this little scrap. All right, number 2, you're gonna get a 1/2 inch. All right, so right now this is 2 1/4, so you're gonna get a 1/2 inch strip. That's for number 2. And then number... Okay, Dawn, you're gonna have to help me with this if you're still here and you don't mind. Does this mean I need like the outline piece of this plus the circles, or do I just need 3 circles? Abraham says the maker, the joy, the extra. Oh, joy extra, because that's the big one. The hat press and press mini. I have the press. I got that for Christmas. I think it's the press 3. Oh, Hobby Lobby stopped carrying Tim Holtz. I'm like, oh, I get distracted here. It's been so long since I've been in the, when you cut that strip, yeah. So I know I need the circles, but do I need the negative? So like, do I need to carefully space the circles so that I have the negative piece, or just the circles? Yeah, it's been so long since I've been out of the crafting world and who's doing what and all of that stuff. So I did not know that they'd stopped carrying his stuff. Okay, I'm just going to put this in here because I'm going to need to use my die cut machine to cut those circles. Okay, so all of the pieces are cut amazingly. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. Red flaps up so they don't spill. I'm going to put them in a bucket there. Okay, now we need some card bases. And I decided to just go with gray because I figured that would be easier and it matches everything else that I'm using today. Carries some, I did some of his inks. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Hobby Lobby is just going to carrying their own brand? You think they're just exclusively going to be Paper Studio? Because they used to carry so many other brands and now they don't. And I'm just like, what's going on? Oh, is there good news? Or was it only bad news? Spill the tea, Dawn. We want to know. What's the news? I want to know. All right. I'm waiting to hear what the good news is while I cut my card bases here. Forgot to count how many I had. Maybe look at the card sketch. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to save that last piece and cut it later anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Okay, I've got 12, so I need to cut 2 more pieces of paper. $13, $14, and 1 more. He's ending his journey. No more designing. He just wants to enjoy being a maker. Well, I guess I could see that too, though. I imagine that would be a lot of pressure trying to constantly come up with new stuff and promote your new stuff and travel to all the craft shows. And so for that, I don't blame him. But But that's sad if that's really the reason they dropped him. Not nice, people. Not nice. All right. I'm going to get all my cards folded here so that they're ready to go. I stopped carrying Sizzix and Spellbinders, which were mostly card making stuff. Yeah. And I think, you know, paper crafting has gone down as far as in popularity, because the days of everyone making 12 by 12 scrapbook albums has definitely gone by the wayside, and that was a lot of it. But I think they underestimate the amount of money that card makers spend, because we spend a lot of money. Oh, they stopped, not you. That's okay. I figured. He said he might do some pop-up designs in the future if it comes up for him, like a spontaneous design here or there. Well, I hope he does. But I know, like, when Richard stepped away, he just needed to step away. He was tired. He was burnt out. He was tired of the mean and the ugly that comes with situations like that. And I just don't understand why everybody wants to be so mean and ugly about things. I like to be happy. I don't want to be in the middle of drama. Oh, you know what would be great? If he just went to designing digital things. I'm all about the digital thing. Come on, Tim Holtz, come over to the digital side. Design SVG files and your own digi files. Because that's a good way to do things on your own, where you don't have the huge investment in having things made. And the thing is, when you have things made and you send them to China to be made, they steal your designs. And I know that everyone gets upset when people buy things from the Chinese companies, but I know a lot of people are on a budget and they buy those knockoff designs, but they can't get them if you don't send them over there. Well, eventually they could get them. But anyway, okay, so all the cutting is done. So happy on that one. And for my papers, I have black and white, and I have kind of this blue-gray. I have the orange, the yellow, and the red. Plus, I have all of this black that I have already dry embossed. I really liked this one for using with these cards. I'm like, make sure you can see. Oh, yeah, okay, you can see it. Just trying to find some things that had texture, but that weren't floral, that there was nothing feminine about them, since I wanted these to be mail cards. Okay, I'm just reading your comments now. Yeah. He said companies will still sell his things. He's just done making new things. Oh, yeah, my little trimmer here is a Tim Holtz trimmer. I have to go back and listen to it sometime, because I haven't watched anything crafty for quite some time. All right, so let's look at this. How is card number 1 going to go? I'm gonna find one that looks easier to start with. Let's start with card number 5, because it looks like it doesn't have nearly as many pieces to deal with. Okay, so we need a card. We'll need a layer. We're going to have this, and we are going to have this. All right, so I want to put a layer behind this, and I think, let's see what colors here I chose. Ooh, the red. Let's see. Let's lay it out. The red, the yellow, the orange. I don't want to do the blue because it's too similar to that. I think I'm going to go with the red. The red's the first one that really jumped out at me. So we'll need a card front size 4. Oh, she has design measurements on here. Oh, yeah. 5 by 4 1/4. That's what I always do. Just wanted to make sure. That's true. I don't know. Don't you think probably though at some point it doesn't matter how old you are, you're just tired of tired of putting up with other people? I feel like he's probably at that point where he's just like, you know what? Forget you. Forget you. I'm just going to go home and do my own thing. All right. So let's make sure that these actually line up like they're supposed to. They do. Excellent. All right. Time to glue. I'm going to use my my ATG tape runner. I'm usually a liquid glue user, but my liquid glues all need refilled at the moment. I don't feel like taking time out to do it. Look, I'm learning all kinds of stuff just watching you two chat, because I don't know. I don't know who Erin is from Hero Arts. And then, of course, we have the young, up-and-coming Simon Hurley. I don't know how you guys feel about Simon. I'm not trying to start any trouble. I don't know anything about Simon except that I've been seeing him a lot more. And, ooh. Oh, wait. I don't have to go with that. I could go with the wheels. And that'll bring in the red. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the wheels. Make sure to leave same amount of border all the way around. There we go. So we've got the start of the first card. And you know, depending on what we put in here, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be kind of cool though. All right, so I need some gray for these, for the mat, since my card is, oh no, it's the red. I want the red for my mat. And it's going to be 2.5 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 2.5. Okay, so it looks like this one is going to shape up to be this on here and this on there, and then we're going to have some kind of stamped image or element on a white here, and then something in the corner. And right now I'm just trying to get all of the pieces together. So card 5 is ready for whatever it becomes at the end. So this is going to go in here, and card 5 is done until it becomes decorating time. All right, let's look, see what else we have that looks easy. Number 3 looks pretty easy. Let's find the pieces for number 3. Don't have a lot for number 3. All right, so number 3, we need our card base. We need something to go on the front. Oh, and we have, so we can either have the blue paper here, or we can have the wheels. And then we have this paper, which is going to go across. And since this is the same color as the cardstock, we're going to have to mat this on something else that's really going to make it stand out. So I think I'm going to go with the blue gray this time, because that will look pretty here. So for the square, we need 4.5 by 2.5. Okay, so let's get that cut. Four and a half by 2.5. And then I also want that to be the same thing for here, so that's going to be 4 by 1.5. And so this is already, okay, so we're going to go to 1/2 to 1.5. That seems like a lot. Oh, it's 4.5 of an inch layer. Okay. So there's our 1/2 inch, and then I want to turn it to 4. Hey, K-Rad, nice to see you. Glad you could be with us. I am working on cutting up a bunch of paper and cardstock for the KCC17 card challenge, and she gives you sketches of 15 different cards to make. So I've gone through and I've cut all of the pattern paper and put it in envelopes, and so now I'm going back and I'm cutting the cardstock that goes with each of these layers, so that when I'm ready to put everything together, I'll have it. Okay, so this will go on here. This will go on here, and this will go across, and this will go on there. But I want something for the background, something that's really going to make this pop, because I don't want it just on the gray card. So I'm going to go to these black layers that I already embossed, if I can find out where I laid them. As you can imagine, my desk is getting to be a little messy at this moment. Oh, there they are. They're hiding under my paper trimmer. And since this has the wheels on it, I want to use the one that looks like tire tread, because that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down to 4 by 5 1/4. Making sure to get all the embossed design on the card. So there, 5 1/4. Perfect. By 4. And this is an old embossing folder from Fun Stamper's Journey. And it is not wide enough. If I go to 4, I have a little bit of an edge without any pattern. So I'm going to take it down 1/8 of an inch more, just so that I make sure I've got the pattern. Because I don't want to have parts that don't have any patterns. Okay, so let's see how this one's going to look now. Fridays, coffee and junking. Ooh, I don't know what that is, but that sounds good. I just click on my channel. It is. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, Rad, that's what I've been trying to clean up this week after the post-holiday rush and finding all kinds of things. And this masculine paper that looks like cars and stuff, I found this when I was cleaning up, and I was like, oh, where did that come from? All right, so this is how this is going to look so far. And then we will end up with a circle or some kind of element here and a little flag up in the corner. Because here's the layout design for this one. So this says the flag is 3/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and make this red. So we need 1 1/4 by 3/4. Come on, little paper. And then I gotta get it out of my trimmer. Ow. And it has this little notch cut in it. And I would normally cut that with a square punch. So I'm just gonna leave it here when I put it back in the envelope. And then when I do it, I'll get my square punch out and cut it so it looks nice and even. All right, so card 3 is also ready. All right, let's look at this one. This is card number 2 with all of these stripes of paper. There's card number 2. All right, first things first, we need a card. We need a background, and then we need all of these stripes. This one looks kind of fun. All right, so let's see what stripes we have. We have the faux leather. That's what that stuff is. We have stripes. We have the back of the fire, the front of the fire, and the wheels. All right, so we can do the wheels, or we can do the blue. We could do the stripes. No, I don't like that. We'll do the stripes. And then we have both of those. And I cut an extra one for some reason. I don't know why. Must have just happened. It's probably where I got mixed up earlier. Okay, so I think something like that would look nice. But I want to put it on something else. What did you buy a bunch of last few weeks? I know. I was actually thinking about you and our holiday purchases, Abraham. I'm wondering, have you used this yet? Your sticky mat? And I understand that, Kira. Thank you. I like the wheels on the, yeah, super fun. Have you used your sticky mat? And if you did you take the sticky off of both sides? Is what I want to know. The protective layer. So you think use the wheels and the fire, Abraham? Was that your suggestion? I'm always up for suggestions. I know. I used it one day when I was stenciling and it was really nice, and then I put it back in my bag and I haven't used it since then. Yeah, unless I really needed it. I wanted it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at background paper to go with this one. I don't like the yellow because then the flames are going to blend in with the yellow, and that's not the look I'm going for. Maybe the orange, because these flames are really more red than orange. Let's slide it off on orange and see what we think. It totally gives me Hot Wheels vibes. What do you think? I'm totally just like, for a little boy though, for a little boy's birthday card, I think the Hot Wheels thing would be good. You thought it was the stamping platform. I knew it wasn't the stamping platform because we got it so inexpensively. Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's really cheap. That is not the whole thing. All right, so I'm going for a 3 3/4 by 5 on this piece. Yeah, you can tell my stuff is spilling over. Funny. All right, 5 inches. Straighten it up. And then we're going to do 3 3/4. Yeah, this paper totally gives me Hot Wheels vibes. All right, so let's try this again. So we've got our design here. We're doing card number 2. So that's going to go there. And wheels. And a flame. And some fire. Fire stuck. Come here, fire. Fire. I like the wheels, but I don't think it's flowing well with this. I think I'm gonna go back to the blue. All right, so let's get these things tacked down so they don't all fly away before I come back to this card project. And this faux leather is so easy to work with. I really like it. And it comes in all different colors. And if you go to your Dollar Tree and it's not marked down, just take them up and ask them, because all of their glitter vinyl paper was on clearance. This stuff was on clearance. One of the locations even let us have the heat transfer vinyl for the clearance price. They didn't have very much, but they let us have it. So it was like, wow, that was nice. We came home with so much vinyl. Okay, and then we're going to do some of the fire. Do the fire right here. Yeah, this is the part that I messed up with the measurements, so we're just going to have to trim off all of these things that are hanging over the edges, but that's okay. I'm going to look up. What did K-Rat say? I told my kids that when I'm packed, they need to shop my stash. Yeah. I think it was before you got here, K-Rat, we were talking about how many Cricut machines we all own or have owned. And I was saying that when I gave mine away, I was like, I want to give away all of this old Cricut stuff, but I don't, but I do, but I don't. And I told my adult daughter, I'm like, quick, take it all and put it in the car. Just get rid of it. Because otherwise I'm going to change my mind. All right, so there we go. So that's the front for this one. Something's wonky. Is this thing wonky? I feel like it was a little wonky. Okay, it wasn't just me. So I'm like, I don't know. What do you put on this card? Because there's no element. I don't know. We'll figure that one out later, I guess. Okay, so this was number 2. This has to go back in its bag. Abraham, that's fun. You're like, help me get rid of some of this so I can buy new. All right, let's look at number 6. It looks like it has a lot of pieces. 11, 10, 6. Why don't I don't feel like I have a lot of pieces. Why does it? Oh, okay, there's 2. Okay, and then we have a long piece. I'm missing a long piece. It might have got in the wrong envelope. There we go. Okay, that's the right size, so we'll just go with that. Okay, so we have 2 of these, 2 of these. Oh, and then we're going to have, okay, then we have our square, so we're going to need some Oh, this is funny. They took the two little tiny pieces instead of just having a long piece. So I'm not missing a piece. I just wouldn't have done that. But I remember back in the day when I would have done that. You have plenty. I think that's a really good idea for the year. Just sticking to things that you have to have, like like your essentials, your consumables. I just got a big new thing of Barely Art glue for Christmas. I really should be well set. I really don't need anything. I have this subscription to the Silhouette Design Studio where I get download lots of different designs every month. So I always feel like that's kind of my my splurge every month when I want something. I'm like, I can go there and get $150 worth of designs. I think my monthly subscription is like 20 some bucks because I've been a member forever. No, it's like 12 bucks because I've been a member forever. All right, card front, card front, card front, 4, 5 1/4. Joe Buchanan likes the sound of the paper trimmer. I told her I would just do one recording where I just sat here and trimmed paper and she could watch because she said she thinks that's relaxing. One of those ASMR videos. Okay, so this is going to go on here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down because it is going to be the back of this card. All right. Color. Abraham, you are so generous. It's so nice of you. You're like, really, please, Dawn, don't buy anything. Okay, so we're going to do these on here. That's how this is going to go. And we need a square that is 2 3/4 inches. And that's out of a cardstock. So I've got some orange right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the orange. 2 3/4 inch square. And then inside of that, okay, so that, let's kind of lay all of this out roughly here. So we've got this, one of these. Oh, I don't like that at all. One of those. Then we're going to have our square. And we're going to have this square inside of there. That's kind of fun. That could be okay. So 1 3/4 inch square there. And I think red would be good behind that little thing. It's fun to look at the Facebook page for this group because I've seen all kinds of different cards already made with different colors. There's one somebody did with all the fluorescents. I'm like, wow, that is bright and fun. Okay, so that's going to go there. So we need one more something behind the orange. And trying to decide what I want to put there. Maybe a little bit of that blue-gray would look pretty there. I thought I had already used it once. I'm looking for a scrap. Oh, I did. Okay. So if the big square was 2 3/4, let's make this just a little bit smaller so you can still see it. 2 3/4. We'll go there. Just 1/8 of an inch smaller than 2 3/4. 2 3/4. All right, let's see how this looks. When you do the card challenge, it uses up so much cards. That's good. And I am all for doing these card challenges if it's going to use up a bunch of my extra card stock. Okay, so that's all the pieces we need for number 6. It sounds like you're like me, maybe Dawn, that you make so many cards you have to figure out other things to do with them because it's just like, I have so many cards. At Christmas time, I make packages up and I give them to people, especially my Aunt Carol. What did Aunt Carol turn this year? Does she turn 80 something? 80 something this year? But she likes my cards, so I like to give her cards. And yeah, I'll give them to anybody that appreciates them. Let's see. A card for bases. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, to donate them to places like that. Especially because usually older people really like to send cards. So it's nice to be able to donate it. Okay, I want to figure this one out. Number 10 with those weird triangles. And yes, my ADHD is showing in this video between not being able to find things and jumping from card to card. And when I paint my house, this is exactly how I paint. I'll paint a wall and then I'll look at another wall. I'll be like, oh, that one looks more fun to paint. And then I'll jump over there and I'll paint that. So this is not just random and yeah, anything. This is just totally how I am. Okay. I want a border. I don't want my paper to be the same size as my card. I'm going to go down 1/8 of an inch. Because I don't like it when it goes right to the edge. It never seems to look right to me. All right, so we've got our base. And even with that small of a border, because at least if you have a 1/4 of an inch border, you got a little room for error if you don't get it quite right. All right, let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, there we go. That works. Okay, with these little shards. Now this gray piece, or whatever color, is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I think I'm going to use another one of these for that. This one is, I think this was called like rugged note page or something. This is an old FSG one too. And they were not always card front size. So that's why I'm going to use this one for this smaller one so I can cut it down. All right, so what did I say I needed? I needed 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. All right, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. There we go. We got our little. Okay, so that's gonna, because we're working on number 10, that's gonna be our layer here for number 10. And then we have our triangles, which are gonna go here and here. I really like the tools on that one, on that fiery background. And then the piece on the front will be 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So what color should we use for that? I'm leaning towards either the blue or the yellow. I think the blue would look classier, and I think the yellow would look more kid-like. And I have plenty of kids cards, so I'm going to go with this. So 3 1/2. It's almost the right size. 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. 2 1/4. All right, let's see. So that'll go there. And then the piece on top will be the piece that is stamped or something. So that's all we need to cut for the moment for this one. What's Abraham saying about watercolor paper? I just saw something. I gotta catch back up. Ooh, watercolor prints. Do you make your own watercolor prints, Abraham, or are they just like ones you bought? Others use water on. Ooh, is that a pet peeve? Do you have a pet peeve about watching people try to watercolor on non-watercolor paper and watching it pill up and just get nasty? That's true. I forgot. Abraham will always choose yellow. It's his favorite color. The one I made the other day, I was like, oh, Abraham would like this one. This is yellow. I don't think I showed you guys that one. Okay, so let's look at, back to my squirrely ways. Let's go to number 12. That looks fun. Okay, so these are the ones I've already done. I should set those aside. Okay. Number 12. Okay, there's number 12 with all the little strips. So we just need a card base. Check. We need 4 long strips. Okay, now I understand the instructions about all these little tiny pieces of paper, because they're what goes under the strips. And these are the ones that I was so confused about the sizes that I was like, what have I done wrong? Because they will go like that. And then, well, where's my other orange? I don't know. But luckily, I have stuff. I can cut another one. Oh, and then the black and the gray are just regular cardstock. Okay. And they'll go across. Or they could go here. But I really just need another piece like this. I think this is the right size. So that's the one that was 1 by 1.5 that had me so confused. All right, so let's just cut another one of these. 1 by 1/2, not 1.5. 1 by 1/2 of an inch, and that goes right to there. Okay, get out of there. Everything's getting stuck now. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this stuff down because otherwise I'm going to lose it in my stuff. Okay. So we'll do our first one. I'm going to use these other things as a spacer. You know, like when you're grouting floors and you need a little spacer, I'm going to do that. So that I get them all in the right place. And then I'm going to come down here and do these other ones. Bring my spacer down with me. And then, yeah, I'm just going to do that on all of these so I keep them the same distance apart. So Abraham, I was wondering, did you go back and see the rest of the birthday cards I made with that kit? I think I made a really fast video and showed them, but I put lots of layers on those and lots of dimension. I kept hearing you in my head saying, dimension, dimension, add some more, add some layers. I was like, okay. And since I had a little more time that day, I was able to get to all the dies and the embossing folders and things to really make sure that I got some good dimension on those. That was a fun project. Oh, Dawn, your daughter lives in California? Hopefully she's okay. Every time I turn on the news, it just looks worse and worse. All right, so there we go. That's that. I got all of those elements on there. Oops. So now I need the 2 strips that are going to go across. And those can be any color. Too light. All right, let's choose something bright and fun for this one. Let's do the red and the yellow. So these are going to be 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch each. Okay, so 1 1/2. By 4 1/4, and I don't think it said 1 1/2. I'm thinking it said 1/2. Oh, I did say 1/2. I'm going to leave this one 1, and then that way I can put my other one over the top, and that way I won't accidentally have a little gap. I don't like a little gap. All right, so 4 1/4 by 1/2. Okay, right to the edge. To the edge of the silver. Okay, dump it out. All right, so let's put these 2 together now. The edge. All right, what else we got here going on? Yikes. There we go. So that's going to fit perfectly right there. Then we'll have a sentiment of some sort here, an object. So I'm not going to glue those down because I want to leave it until I know exactly what we're going to do on this card. All right, I think we're more than halfway there, folks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5 more to go. We've done 10? Or did I lose some? Those are the ones I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 to go. Okay, I don't know if I'll have time to finish them all before I have to go to pickleball, but we shall see. All right, number 9 coming up next. That's what I would do. Wait until I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, I know that I want to use like some of the things I've already cut out and prepped because I was going to use these images for something else. So like I have these cute, like the Born to Ride, Have an Awesome Day. I've already got some motorcycles cut out. So just depending on how the cards go together. And like that one, looking at that one, I'm like, I might even change. I might even be like, nah, I want the orange there. Never know. It is hard to say what I will change my mind about. Okay, number 9. Need a large object. We need this piece matted on something to go on there. This looks kind of fancy. Like a fancy card. Okay. Just gravitating towards this blue for some reason today. 4, 5 1/4. So that's going to be here. Those stripes, they just make me dizzy. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to turn that one over. And I think I'll just go with, you know, I think I have a different gray here. I might go with a different gray. Or I could just use the same gray. Yeah, I think I'll use the same gray. So it's going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. All right. Well, that's not right. The paper was 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. This needed to be 5 1/4 by... Oh, she's got tiny little measurements. I'm not doing that. I'm just going from side to side. Like I'm not cutting 1/4 inch sheets and trying to glue them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 2 3/4. 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. It will have the same look. It just will be easier on me to try to glue it together. So then we'll do that. Okay, so that was an easy one to put together. All right, what else we got? Number 11. Okay, that's this one with all of these little pieces. I have a hangnail. It's really bugging me. Squirrel. My husband, he goes back and he watches all of my videos and he comments, and he commented the other day, where do all those little white pieces go? Out in the back of Pop Dots, because I just take them and I just throw them. I was like, all over my desk until I come back later and pick them all up because, yeah, just toss it. It's all good. Okay, so we're going to have a little design pattern here going on. Let's see. Yeah, that's fun. Get our 5 different patterns and textures. And then we need some long pieces here. We need a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and another 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, so this, I don't need a lot of this. I'm gonna do some orange though. And 5 1/2. So is this, oh, this is all the way. So this is 5 1/2. And I need 2. I need one that is a 1/4 inch. And one that's a 1/2 inch of the same color. So we'll go 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. And then we need a different color. I think I'm just going to go with Abraham's favorite. We'll go with some yellow to go with these here. And we need a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. So we got 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. All right, so that's all of the pieces. All right, let's put some of this together. So if this is 1/4 inch wide, then we can start the first color right next to that. That piece does not look very straight to me. Is it just me, or is that a little, I think that's a little crooked. All right, so we'll go our 1/2 inch piece. And then we'll go 1/4 inch. That's a nice thing about the ATG, you can just roll it off. The washi I used to tape my knives when cutting. I know. Or I don't know if you guys remember this, when we used to use the red liner tape instead of this stuff that's so nice. We had that crazy red liner tape, and you would peel it off and it would stick to everything. It had all of this static. That stuff was annoying. I did not enjoy the red liner tape. It was so bad. Okay, so I'm going to start with this piece up at the top. This is why I don't like all the tiny little pieces, because I'm like, I see some places that aren't lining up perfectly. It's going to aggravate me. But it's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it later if it doesn't line up perfectly. Okay. And then I need this piece. And I need this piece. Somehow I have something that's not big enough right here. You know what? It's probably that one, because I think that was supposed to be a little thicker. So I'll just cut another one. And I will say, if you are new to the challenge and you're following this and you're trying to follow along, stop, rewind, take a break. This is a lot of crafting to do all at once. And like I said, I've been a crafter for a long time, so. It is, isn't it, Sandy? I'm fancy. I'm fancy like that. I got all the fancy. I have all the fancy old tools. I think Abraham has more of the fancy newer tools. But, okay, I'm classic. I'll just go with that. Well, I guess I don't have to say I'm old, but my crafting tools are definitely in the classics range. We're going to a craft rubber stamp expo. It's called Two Fun Productions, I think is what it's called, in February. So I might get some fun new crafting tools then. But okay, so 2 1/4 by 1. All right, so let's see. Is this big enough to cover up this hole? Yes, it is. My friend used to own a scrapbook store back in the day. I won't even say how long ago that was, because I just thought about it. Like, oh, I've been crafting longer than 20 years. Yeah, she owned a scrapbooking store, and that was so much fun to get to be there when all the new boxes came in every time and see all the fun new products, and get to go to, what was it called back then? CHA, Craft and Hobby Association, the big show that was in Chicago, and do all of those super fun things. But man, that was an expensive endeavor for her to have to try to have all the latest and the greatest in the store all the time. You know, you'd have to order stickers, and you'd have to order thousands of each one. And a town our size, nobody was looking for thousands of any one sticker, that was for sure. Okay, there we go. This is what I don't like. A little bit at the bottom, a little bit at the top. And that's why I don't like to do full card measure, you know, edge to edge. because it never works out right. So I'm just going to trim it so that it looks right. Ta-da! I think I need a little bit off of this side too. Just a little bit. There we go. All right, so this one goes back in the envelope because it will get done later. What you guys saying about, oh, your old school tools? Okay, let's talk about old school tools. When I said I was going to do the, show how to do the embossing on the background, Granny G thought I was going back really old school. Do you remember the Fiskars plates where you would have like this textured plate and you would put this down and tape it, and you had this tool and you had to run over it back and forth and back and forth, and so you could see where the design was, and then you took your stylus and you actually went in each and every, do you guys remember that? That is old school. Yeah, Granny G was like, oh, I didn't know there was a machine that would do it now. And I was like, oh, I had forgotten how laborious and time intensive it was to make a background then. Oh my gosh, that brought back flashbacks, and they weren't necessarily good ones of that. Okay, so here's the one I was asking about the with the circles. So I'm gonna wait on that one because I don't want to have to get up and use the die cut machine and all of that right now. This one is a little odd. I'm not gonna do that one right now. Number 7. Oh, number 7 has a big 3.5-inch half circle, which I don't have ready. Okay, so that's going to go there. How about number 8? Oh, number 8 looks easy peasy. Let's do number 8. Card front. Something to go on the front. We've got this, and we've got the little piece for the tag, which I'll save at the end because I don't want to do that one right now. Okay, we have this, the cool wheel, so I am going to use orange for all of the matting on this one because I think it's just calling for some orange. All right, so layer 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 3 1/4, and then the other layer is 3 3/4 by 2. Let's go this way. 3 3/4 by 2. All right, so we've got our 2 background layers on there. This one goes on here, and it's going to be back there, and it's going to go over like this, and then we need something that's going to be stamped on white here, so I'm going to leave that. We've got the little flag, but I want something behind this, so of course I'm going to go to my pile of black embossed, and that is exactly why I did these ahead of time, because I knew I needed these for some texture today, some dimension. And then when I get ready to do a live and finish these, that's when I'll pull out all of the embellishments that are going to go with it. So there's all the pieces for card number 8. And let's see, 15, 14, 13. Okay, so we're ready for the back page here. All right, we've got card number 15, also requires a big half circle. Card 13. Okay, we've got what we need for card 13. Let's do it. Okay, so we have our diagonal piece, we have this background, and we have our card. I'm gonna use this side this time. I know I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna do this one. And we really haven't used any white on these cards, and we're going to have to at some point for the sentiments and things, so I'm going to go ahead and pull in some white. So the white on this one is going to be the 5 1/4 by 4. Ooh. Oh, thank you. The glue press. What is a glue press? Oh yeah, the Fiskars plates. Well, you still have them. I got rid of them. I did not keep my Fiskars plates. But I was getting everything organized. I have a Pampered Chef tool organizer on my desk. And why? Why I have so many of these? Oh wait, there's another one. I have 5 of these on my desk. I almost never use one of those. There's 5 on my desk and 3 pair of reverse tweezers. I don't know. I think we just buy things because they're cheap and we're like, oh, that's important. We should have that someday. All right, so we're making a sandwich here. We've got the gray, we've got the white, we've got this color. Now we need, I'm gonna go gray again, and it's gonna be 4.5 by 2 3/4. All right, 2 3/4 by 4.5, 4 1/4 Okay, so that's gonna go there. Then we'll need a piece of white, which is 4 1/4 by 2.5. 4 1/4 by 2.5. All right, so that will go there. So we've got our whole sandwich. And then this is going to go here. I wanted to use the other side, but apparently I did not check when I cut it. But that's okay, because this looks really nice with this. Okay, so all of those pieces are going together. That's number 13. And then we should have number 14 right here. Oh, and this is a lot of small pieces. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a piece of white. And I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 5.5. But I know I'll end up trimming it down because it's not going to line up perfectly. I already know that. And that's just a me problem because I don't cut straight enough, I guess, that everything's going to be perfect on here. All right, so we have fat piece in the middle. Let's go with the pattern side this time. Okay, fat piece. And then we have printed piece, printed piece. These should be the same size. Orange, orange, orange. And then we have little piece. This piece, this piece, this piece. Aw, there we go. That'll look so nice. I don't know about doing this with the tape runner. I can do the big ones with the tape runner or the ATG gun. But the little ones are going to be too small to do that. I'm looking for my glue. Seeing if I'm going to have to go with glue for this. It's going to be way too small to do it otherwise. Oh, thanks, guys. If you're talking about watching this is enjoyable, thank you. I'm glad you guys are here, giving me motivation to just sit down and get all of these parts done. I'm thinking I'll probably take some of my crafting stuff with me because a lot of the people I'm going to be with this weekend are from the West Coast, and I'm already an early riser, so I don't think a lot of them will be up as early as I am. Okay, we'll put that one up here. My friend Robin is going to, oh no, that is not long enough. I grabbed the wrong piece. My friend Robin is going to be there, and Robin wants to go play pickleball. So her and I might get up early in the morning, go sneak out and play pickleball. And Robin used to be a professional racquetball player. So she's just learning to play pickleball. But I'm still keeping her on my side of the net. Because I told her, I said, once you get it figured out, I do not want to be across the net from you. Because racquetball players, whew, they're rough. We played last summer when we were in Denver. We went and played at the park a couple mornings, and that was really fun. Okay, so now I need the thinner pieces. I'm going to put the pattern side up again, just to add a little interest. And I don't think I did a great job of spacing these out, which makes me a little sad, but you know, I'll get over it. I should have done my method of putting in spacers. And this is just, I think this is Barely Art glue that I took and put in a smaller bottle so it'd be easier to contain and not try to have that great big bottle on my desk all the time. Indiana. Okay, Brad, are you the one that every time I find out you're in Indiana, I'm like, how did I not know you're in Indiana? I'm in Indiana. I think you told me one time that you're pretty close to Indianapolis. That's true. I could have done, well, except that they're not to size, Abraham. The cutting guides aren't to size. I'll just make sure that I put, oh, you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do on the bottom of this one, because this stamp set has this really cool tire tracks. I'm going to stamp that right along here when I come back to this card. That'll work. And I was also cutting out other things today, and I had cut out some hexagons and things for the large, where it says any large shape. I was thinking things like this might be kind of cool. So, but yeah, I will definitely be putting a tire track along the bottom of that one. Okay, I knew you were somewhere in that area. My son works over by IKEA, and so I was thinking, you're over that way somewhere. But in Greenwood. Okay, so the other ones are ones that I have to use the die cut machine to cut out big circles for, or something else, small circles. But that was pretty great, guys. We got through, completely got through 11 of the 15 cards. So I will stop for today. I will cut the other large elements, and then when I come back, I will have things stamped and cut so that I can actually assemble these cards. I forgot to put a card in with this one, and be ready for the challenge. And so if you're here from the Facebook group and you followed along with me making these parts of the cards, please let me know. And if you want to subscribe and see what else I do, I'm always making something and showing you what I'm making. I don't try to hide anything. If I make a bunch of mistakes, I'll tell you what I did, so that maybe you can avoid it in the future. And then I will show you how I fix it too. And some people like to see what I throw away, and some people, I don't know, maybe scare small things they throw away. But this is the craft desk in the aftermath. In the aftermath of this crafting session. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. It was so much more fun to be able to make things with people to chat with. And I will see you guys probably next week, because I'm going to be gone for this weekend. Ooh, I'm switching over here. Can't find my thing.